Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the one and true and living legend, Honcho J23 of Independent Scene Podcast. I want to take this opportunity right now to thank you guys for joining me on another very special edition. I am so delighted and honored to be with you guys on today. Today is our final show of the month. I have truly enjoyed bringing this content to you guys. I definitely can't wait to bring you guys more new content. It's definitely on the way. Real quickly, I want to give a shout out to my personal DJ Wade Banner, who is my official DJ for Independent Scene Podcast. I also want to thank my beautiful and wonderful co-host who's in the building, who I'm about to bring up in just a second. Somebody who she's definitely full of life, full of energy. I love her vibe. I love her energy, her spirit. It's everything. She is truly a mini version of me, but just in female form. So for those of you that know me, y'all know my energy, and I'm very active and all that stuff. So she's the real deal. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please bring up my beautiful and wonderful co-host, Quinn. Let's get it. Reese Ray, what up? What up? Bachelor Days, what up? Hey. What's going on? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, like I said, welcome once again. As I said, this is Independent Scene Podcast. We will be talking with none other than my guy Cody _Beats. I definitely can't wait to chop it up with him, and he's already in the building. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome our guest at this time, the homie and the bro, Cody _Beats. Let's get it. What's up, my boy?
Everybody doing?
Coolin', man. How you feeling, my boy?
Hey, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Most definitely, man. It's a pleasure for us to have you, man. And definitely,
welcome.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, before I start, I'm gonna let you know, be yourself, be authentic, see how you feel. So say what you feel. Hey, there's no judgment over here on this side. You know what I mean?
Hey, I feel it. I can already see. We about to have a great time.
Most definitely. Well, real quick, introduce yourself to the 5 people, man. Then we're gonna jump right into it.
I bet. What's up, everybody? My name is Coda Beats. We can just call me Coda. I'm a producer, artist, engineer. I basically try to do it all, man. You can find me on YouTube, IG, and coming to other platforms very soon at Coda Beats on pretty much everything.
Most definitely. All right, so real quick. So first things first, man. How did you get into the whole beats making process, and where did it all start?
Well, I've always been musical, but the beats actually came from me starting out on a little keyboard. I had a drum machine. I used to play with that. And then one school year, let's just say I did really well on the EOG. And I got almost every single question right. I was highly ranked. And for a present, my father got me an old laptop, and I started making beats up there, and the rest is history.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's what's up. So have you always had a fondness for beat making, or was that just something that you just recently got into?
Yeah, I've always had a fondness of it, in just all music in general. I used to be in band in middle school and high school, so I've always loved making music, and I really dove into it. So yeah,
COVID definitely had to sit us down.
Definitely.
And it was a good thing for creatives because we were able to put our minds to work and just enjoy our craft.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Now I gotta ask about the name Cody _Beats. Talk to us about that.
All right. So Coda Beats is actually it came from a combination of my last name, the first 2 letters of my last and first name, and it also came from the coda is a musical symbol prevalent in sheet music, and it means, basically, to sum it up, it means once you play through something, when you get to the symbol, you jump back to the beginning of the song, and then you play up to that part again, and you cut somewhere else. So it's just a little musical term and a combination of my name.
Okay. So let me ask you this, man. You know, making beats the way that you do, man. I gotta ask another question. How did you get so skilled at doing, beats, man?
A lot of sacrifice, a lot of time put in. I know, like, I'm fairly young, but I'm a perfectionist. I don't want to leave something until I know that I am good at it, or so I want to master something before I move on. So since I'm very serious about my craft, I shut myself in for hours and days, and even miss some, pretty important events in my life. But, to me, that was a necessary sacrifice to be how that I want to be, be able to create at the level that I do, because I have big dreams.
Okay. Well, we got one question already in the comments. Somebody wants to know, where can we hear your beats at?
All right. Well, up on my YouTube at Coda Beats, I have 3 beats already uploaded. That's Heaven or Hell, Champions, and Space. I have more coming soon, but those are the first 3 up there to get you started. And you can also find those. They should be coming to SoundCloud and Spotify and all the other platforms pretty soon.
Okay. And so we got another question. I like y'all already. Y'all already got the question already. So let me ask this. So somebody else wants to know, what software do you use for making music?
I currently primarily work out of FL Studio. That's a software that you can get on pretty much every device, but mainly PC. They do have a little mobile version on the App Store. I believe it might just be for Apple, but you might be able to find it in the Android store as well. But I mainly work out of there. I try to branch out to other DAWs, that's what they're called. I would try to branch out to other DAWs because you want to be able to create in other software because of industry standards. Like Pro Tools and what else? Logic. Those are 2 very big ones that I need to be able to build my skill up in because they're very prevalent in the industry.
Okay. So let me get your take on the world, man. And what I mean by the world of hip hop, the world of, rap, man. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't know if my take has any value, because I kind of recently detached myself from it in a way to focus on my craft and to also kind of hone in on what my sound is actually, because as producers and just as music enjoyers in general, we don't realize it, but we pick up a lot of sounds, and that can influence our style, So before I, start doing like type beats or just collabing with any other people, I wanted to make sure that I knew my sound. So I don't know if my take has any weight or merit, but if I had to say something, I think we're seeing a revival of hip hop in a way, because a lot of people were saying, it went from, in the 90s and a lot of lyricalness to mumble rap per se. And you're starting to see some lyrical and very wordy artists come out, and I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. So now, being in this industry, man, obviously, I'm pretty sure you've seen some things, witnessed some things, experienced some things. What's been one of the most crazy experiences that you've had, in your progression of being a beat maker?
I'll say one of the craziest experience I've had so far was actually probably just seeing how many people my music has affected or touched. I helped this artist named UAD Vato create an album. I made two beats up there and edited some vocals on one of them. I produced Knock It Off and Money Talk, and it's crazy to see the response and the love that we've got, but it's really mind-boggling, really.
Okay, so we got another question from the audience. They want to know, trap beats or sample beats?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's really a tough one because I started off with samples. Like I have some sample gems in the vault. But as a kid, you know, just studying and learning the game, I wanted to hone in on my skills and not rely so heavily on samples, because you can't always get samples cleared as a producer and artist and anybody. So I was like, you know what? If I really want to make it, I need to be able to do both. So, ooh, that's a hard question because samples have my heart, but making a beat from scratch, uh, I'll say samples. I'll say samples because you can take something that was already made and take something that's, you know, already. You can take something and make something new. That I'll leave it at that. I love it.
Interesting. So let me ask you: do you find it hard, you know, being in your profession, knowing that there are other beat makers, but knowing that your sound and your flow, you know, speaks volume, and that is different from the rest?
Can you say that beginning of the question again, please?
I said, do you feel like your sound and your beats are way different from the rest of from other beat makers?
Yeah, I really do think so. When I started, because I used to be very protective of who I let hear my craft when I was starting out. But when I did start letting people hear it, they really said that it was like it sounded like a symphony, like symphonic. And you don't hear too many symphony type sounding beats on mainstream or radio like that anymore. But even though it sounds like a symphony or band, because, you know, that's where I started, it still has that trap or hip hop flair to it, you know. So yeah, I think I sound a little different, you know. I think I sound different. It's my take.
Okay. Now, outside of beat making, outside of what you do on a normal basis as it relates to music, what are some of the things that you do outside of beat making? Like, what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do in your spare time?
It's kind of also hard because that's like majority of what I do. But in my spare time, I like to play basketball when I do, you know, when I am around the court. You know, I play basketball, or I help my dad out with some stuff because, you know, he sells cars and stuff. I help out there, and I also, you know, just, you know, watch some anime, or I don't know, just hang out with family. I really just take time to decompress from, you know, creating, because when you're very passionate or locked in into a process, you tend to get stressed out, and especially as creators, you have to be mindful and wary of burning yourself out, because if you burn out, then there's no telling when or how long it would take for you to get back into the flow of things, you know. And it's very dangerous to burn out. So I try to do those activities and when I can, to decompress.
Most definitely. You know, very well spoken, young man. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I gotta ask, man. So, you know, who did you have any influencers growing up as a kid? Like, when it came to, you know, that when it came to people that made beats, or did you have just influences all around?
I guess you could say my biggest influence was my favorite artist, J. Cole. I studied him for a very long time. But as I started, you know, okay, I have this person, this sound that I like on lock. Let me just start branching out. And then I did what I've always done since I was a child, and just use different sounds that I've heard from everywhere, all genres of rap, all life, even just, you know, traffic, birds, like water, like everything to me is music. So I pick up sounds from everywhere. But as for a person, my biggest inspiration was Cole, probably.
Okay. So, what does it take for you as a beat maker to hear a beat and you instantly run with it? Like, what does it take in order for it to catch your attention?
For me, it will probably be chord progressions and counter melodies, because all right, if you have the same sound on loops, because that's typically what beats are nowadays, are constant loops. If you have a loop going on over and over and over, typically after 8 bars, it gets boring and repetitive to the ear, so the listener isn't focused on it anymore. So when a beat has a very good loop and a great chord progression and counter melodies that kind of play and trick the ear. And then on top of that, hard drums. That's to me what separates the beats and makes a masterpiece. So that's what I try to do and incorporate in my work.
Okay. Wow.
I love musical lingo.
I do too.
Yeah. So did you? I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So did you actually study or take any classes musical?
Let me see. In from 6th grade to high school, I was in band. I did like concert band and fall band, and then in high school I did marching band and concert there as well.
Okay.
But outside of that, I also did like study music and phonics and how it affects the brain actually, because it runs deep. Just I study outside of that, but music and books and artists, yeah, I study it.
Okay. You probably already said that, but
yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
So let me ask you this: how important is it for you to make the beats the way that you make them? How important is that for you?
It's very important to me because, as I said before, I'm a perfectionist, and to me, music is an expression of oneself. So when I make music, I want it to be perfect. Not only because I want to portray myself, but if I don't make a beat how I would want it to be, like in my own style, I feel like I'm not being true to myself, or like I'm cheating myself, you know? And I have to make it. I wouldn't be satisfied if I gave it anything less than my all, you know?
I feel that. I respect that. So has there ever been a time where you've heard a beat and you're like, you know what? No, this ain't it. I'm not using it. Like I gotta start this thing over because this just ain't.
Yes, yeah, plenty. Oh my gosh. As I said before, like I'm a perfectionist. I'm very, 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 very hard on myself. It's been times where I've just wanted to throw a beat away just completely. I rarely do that. I try not to do that because as I grew and learned and evolved, I realized that even if I don't like a beat, I still could use something from it. You know, the beats, the drums, the chord progression. I could sample for myself, you know, and I don't have to worry about that. But there's been times where I straight up just didn't like the beat, and I had someone else listen to it, like an artist or a close friend of mine, and they'd be like, "Yo, you're tripping. This is crazy." I'm like, okay, if y'all say so, I won't get rid of it. But yes, there's been times where I want to completely throw away beats and just start all over.
Okay, so
your story just reminded me of that episode or that movie, The Five Heartbeats. On that scene where he's like balling up paper and throwing it, and she's picking it up and she's reading it, and she's like, "Wait, you got something, but let's fix it."
Yeah,
that definitely reminded me of that scene. So yeah, but we, like you said, we are our worst critics. You know, like you said, perfectionists, making sure that it's right. Somebody else might like it, be like, "I don't know, I don't really know."
Right,
definitely.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you this: being, you know, switching off gears for a second, you know, when you're out and about and you're doing your own thing, how easy or how accessible are you when it comes to people that want to connect with you and that want to network with you? How easy is that for them, or accessible is that for them?
I would like to think that it's highly accessible. On my page, I have a link tree. It has my socials up there. It should have my number up there. And if a person sends me a text, like I respond pretty quickly. If not instantaneously. You know, I love reaching out and hearing from other people, whether it be feedback from something I made or people who wanted to make something collab. I think I like to think I'm highly accessible.
Okay, so it's safe to say that in a public setting, you're definitely the friendly go lucky type, if that's right.
Yeah, I'm a very outgoing person. I haven't met too many people, fingers crossed, that don't like me, you know. But at the same time, with that being said, that's not something that I strive for, to be a likable person. You know, I don't bend myself backwards trying to be somebody people like, because that's a whole nother story, you know. But I like to say that, you know, I haven't met anybody who doesn't like me. I think that my energy is just inviting and welcoming, you know, and people say I'm very charismatic. So yeah,
Okay.
that's that.
Look, man, had to get you to come join the team, my boy, because we looking for that, type of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm down.
You know, just gotta throw that plug out there to you. You know, if
you I got it, bro. I'm gonna put it in the bag.
Okay. So my next question, man, is when it comes to the younger generation, man, you know, we got the younger generation that, you know, we got, you know, up and coming rappers, up and coming singers, engineers, DJs, the whole 9 yards. You know, what do you say to a young person that may be wanting to get into the field of beat making? What would you say to them?
The first thing I would tell anybody, educate and protect themselves, because it's too many artists who are like lesser known, and it's just too many artists, period, who have great music but don't know how to protect themselves. It's honestly scary for me, because like as I study the game, like look back, it's just scary to see somebody blow up, somebody put in so much work, so much effort, hard time, blood, sweat, and tears into their craft, and it blows up, and then it all gets taken away from them. That's such a sad and pitiful sight to see, man. It really hurts. So that's the first thing I would tell them to do, is to educate themselves and to protect themselves.
Okay. That's how, for all you out there, listen, I hope you guys caught that. That was another gem right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy you say that, because that actually happened to a TikTok viral girl. TikTok went viral, and she pretty much did like an acapella to her song, and somebody created a beat around it and pretty much took the song, and now she has no rights to it at all. So like, it's a lot of people, you know, trying to fight for her to get, you know, her rights back, but who knows where that will go.
That's why with songs, you gotta like protect the beat. For me, it's very important to protect myself, because you can take it straight off of YouTube. Don't do it, but you can take it straight off of YouTube and record, you know. But so it's important for me to encode my stuff. And also for artists, get your beat copywriting. Like, if you make sure you have the right stuff with the beats, is, you know, documented and stuff. And then there's some game. A lot of people don't do this. Their lyrics. You just saying 5 words. I don't know if that's the legal number, but 5 words is a sentence. That's a sample, you know. So you should be getting paid for that if somebody quotes you, you know. So go back to protecting yourself.
Right.
Now, let me ask this question. You know, as time is already winding down already, I can't believe time has already flew. But let me ask this question. How much? What is your usual or your standard rate if somebody wants to buy a beat, you know, get a beat from you? Like, tell us a little bit about that process real quick. You know, how do you go about, you know, getting beats out to people that may want a beat?
All right. So as of right now, the lowest I charge on my beat store is up on it's $35. So it goes in tiers according to the files and the rights, and, you know, the abilities that you have with that beat. So the lowest right now is $35. Off the top of my head, it should be like maybe 5K streams. It's all in my beat store. So after this, or during, no, actually after this, because I want you to watch, click my page on IG, hit the link, and check out my beat store. The 3 songs that are on YouTube, you should see those up there too. But stay tuned, there will be more.
Most definitely. And that brings me to my next question. I was about to say, what else can we expect from you, my guy? Like, what's next for you?
So besides immediate things like, you know, posting and making more beats and collabing with artists and all that type of stuff, I will be you should see me at the Bring 'Em Out Festival at Raleigh. That's going to be held in August 27th this year. Yeah. Shout out Reese. She's actually the one who set this up for me. So I thank you, and I thank her as well as the new co-host for having me. I really appreciate it. But making posts and collabing with producers and artists and the festival, I have some big things planned.
Okay, well, we most definitely look forward to seeing what you got in store, man. Definitely keep grinding, keep going hard as you've been doing that. We definitely, again, myself to my co-host, we definitely appreciate you, and we definitely are keeping our eye on you. We watching you.
Hey,
We're gonna stay in tap with you, but real quick, let people know where they can follow and tap in with you at.
hey, you can follow me on IG and YouTube, SoundCloud at Coda Beats, CODA Beats.
That part. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another successful interview wrapped up in the books. We appreciate our guest, Coda, for coming through and tapping in with me. I want to also thank my special and my talented co-host, Quinn, for tapping in with us. You know, it's always a pleasure tapping in with you. And you already guys know how I grow. This is your boy, the one and only true and living legend, Honcho J23 himself. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time on another edition, Independent Scene Podcast. We out, y'all.
Hey.